Do it the hard way. Do it the hard way, and it's easy sailing. Do it the hard way, and it's hard to lose. Only the soft way has a chance of failing. You have to choose. I tried the hard way when I tried to get you. You took the soft way when you said we'll see. Way now that I want me.
Hello and welcome everybody. Charlie Burns here presenting the Do You Want to Have a Chat Show inaugural pilot. We've got a great show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's meet, first of all, man on the couch, Macca. Come over here, babe. All right, cut. Band, minimalize it out. Yeah, hi. Good. Well, how are you feeling? You're the man on the couch. This is the industry staple of the chat show. Not a total silence. Anyway, so. Wait, let me get comfortable. I'm not comfortable in my. Okay. And you are my man on the couch.
And I don't know what that means, but we're gonna find out.
Let's meet the band. Macca, everybody. Applause. Can you? Yeah, you can. We can have live studio applause. Let's meet the band. Old friend of mine, Jimmy Lee. Hi, everybody. Welcome, Jimmy Lee. Great band. This is where you should do a little rim shot or something. Give us a horn stab. Thanks. The Do You Want to Chat Show studio band, Jimmy Lee, and guest musician this evening, today, Duval Timothy, the great Duval Timothy, who will be guesting on the couch later with us. I just want to say we got a great show in store for you today, and I want to thank you all for watching. Let's carry on with the show. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? Are we rolling? Okay, hi everybody, we're back after the intermission. Macca, who's that at the door? Go and check. I think it's our first guest. Who is it? Duval Timothy. Welcome to the show. Applause, hi, welcome. Good to see you, sir. There's a lot of audience. Of course, on that now. Welcome to the couch, Duval Timothy. My good friend Macca, Duval, you've met each other. Okay, welcome. Now, Duval. We've known each other quite some time. I knew you were the guy I wanted to get involved in the first episode of the Charlie Burns Do You Want to Have a Chat show. You always look a bit shifty when I try and rope you in, you know, in the radio show. I mean, what is our relationship? Because I've just found out you live very local to me here in Croydon, and you've been here a year or so. I just want to know, first off, kind of how close you feel we are as mutual respect goes, artistry, sort of, yeah.
I feel like it's love, you know, like we're stepping into new territory where we're like bonding, we're becoming real friends, and you know, it's a bit of like you're not sure if I'm being sincere, but you know, we're stepping into like something deep.
I'm wearing your hat.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful line, carrying colour. Look, there he is, repping it. Duval, I mean, it goes without saying, let's just address the elephant in the room. You're a good-looking, talented man, multi-talented. Do you want to just quickly list your series of achievements?
I'm an artist and I make stuff.
Cooking?
I used to be part of the Groundnut. We used to do pop-up dinners and made a cookbook of African food. And yeah, make music, piano-based stuff.
Beautiful.
Make clothes.
Clothing.
Carrying Colour is the label. And yeah, just trying my hand at most things, shooting videos and all sorts of things.
So the point of my opening question is, how many times in your life have you been the focus of an intense bromance? And what do you do about it when it happens, you know? Because men, you know, they don't often meet a man that really they fall in love with. They may be they may be they may be fully straight guys in every other corner of their life. But then a man like you comes along. This is a serious question, because I was watching a movie last night. It is, because I think I'm falling in bromance. No, because I watched a movie and the guy lost his shit and he was very excited. And I thought, you know, it's tough for a man doing his thing in his own lane, you know, which is what we struggle to do. There's wreckage that comes from that. It's hard to deal with, you know. You got people that want to, you know, steal some of your swagger, some of your juice.
Yeah, I think you got to be flexible. You got to go with it. I mean, if that's where the impulses are, you know.
Thanks for addressing that. Musically, where are you going next? Let's just talk about your music. I mean, we should have some of your music playing in the background while this is happening, but it's absolutely gorgeous music. And I wouldn't say that you strike me as a very sort of a musician that's dogged in the sort of rigor of music. You seem very free and fluid, and you know, everything that I like sort of try to embody when I approach being creative, you know? To let it just come out free, not too much stress, not too much self-analysis, just let it do its thing, and your music hits me like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to like, I'm trying to make less musical music now, more ideas-based stuff.
Yeah.
Like kind of like I'm into, you know, the avant-garde, like New York, old school kind of 60s stuff. So I'm trying to make more conceptual stuff, or I'm kind of waiting on the next big inspiration for our full project. So I'm like working on just ideas, soundscaping more.
Yeah.
Trying to, yeah.
Give me it back. But so, for example, like how long before your first album? Because how many albums are you deep now? 2? 3?
Three albums at EP.
Brown Loop.
Yeah.
Dukabanti.
Senam.
Senna. But when the first one, how long did it take you about thinking about it before you were like, okay, I'm going to go through and do it? Like, this chat show has been in my mind for 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm talking about that ease of an artist getting something out. How easy do you find that, to just make a change, go into the clothing, go into the cooking,
It's direct.
make an album?
Yeah, I do it pretty straight away. Like the first album, I had the chord progressions. I just play. I didn't consider myself a musician at all. And then, yeah, at one point I was like, okay, let me just record this, document it. I was like, okay, I'll make an album, put it on Bandcamp. It took about, I guess, like a week to record it. My brother helped me mix it a little bit. And then, yeah, Brown Loop as well was when we were cooking. I was just kind of like, that was more of an expressive thing. It was like, okay, I got this kind of like sound. I just got to put it out. So I was like, boys, I got to go away for a week and a half, and then yeah, just made the album pretty chop.
I respect that. That's what this is. What, you know, the whole do you thing is about. Is just getting that process for myself, really. Just self therapy, mantra. Just get it rolling.
Yeah.
And because parents are a lot to do with this. Being raised in a supportive artistic environment, would you say? Does that have an effect?
Yeah.
You don't have a strong internal critic?
Yeah. I'm a massive critic of myself and lots of things, but
How'd you let it go, though?
I think after, like, if you're doing your own things, like an independent thing, you're not really trying to do what other people are doing, so you kind of there's not too much to criticize it against. You're not really comparing yourself to shit, I guess. And people think of me as like a musician in terms of like I can't really just play stuff. I'm not a virtuoso, so I fall apart in those contexts. But in terms of like, I think okay, I've just got to put an idea out. I feel pretty confident. My parents grew up with like something like this, art on the walls.
Yeah.
We used to scribble and shit, and
Yeah.
you know, I was appreciated. So that's
Yeah.
probably the basis.
Thank you. No, that's very important to me. Right now, okay, you've got to choose a topic from the questions of trouble. You can choose Zionism, the flat Earth,
Jesus Christ.
sexting, Brexit, feminism, first wank, which you've avoided anyway, or banking. Which topic would you like to address? Do you want to have a chat show?
Wow. Let's go. Flat Earth, maybe.
Good question. Good one. Safe, not too risky. Tell me your thoughts on flat Earth.
I like that people can think outside of the box. You know.
Me too.
Questioning shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty dumb. It's pretty.
Don't upset me now, Duval.
It's some stupid ass shit, you know.
Yeah. But is it though?
A lot of fake news out there.
Yeah.
You know, we need to set the record straight.
Yeah. But you like the fact that it exists.
Yeah, why not? You know, it's kind basically it makes everyone's like, oh, but how's it around? Prove it, and makes you realise we're a lot less. We can't really account for the things we think we know. We don't actually know how to explain.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know how to explain that it's around.
But you know, I like your answer because you know the sign of intelligence. One of them I've heard, which I like, is carrying two opposing ideas in your mind at the same time. So I like that we can even think about it, you know, because some people, they don't even want to address it. Not just that as one topic, but I just think it's insane that it exists in 2018. Some rapper saying it on the internet or some nerd, and then Neil deGrasse Tyson's weighing in. Like, why is he? It must be serious, you know, because anyone's saying anything at any time on Twitter. You know, he's like the American version of who's the idiot? Oh God, I should. You know, our science guy. Who's our science guy? The sexy scientist. Brian Cox.
Okay, yeah.
He's like the American. Even Brian Cox, I think, got involved.
What, he's on the flat Earth? No, obviously not.
No, they weigh in on Twitter
and
saying, "Oh, this is nonsense, these stupid kids." But it's like, why would you? It's like a dad getting involved in a baby fight. You know, it's like, surely the dad must be like, "Oh, they're getting close to something, man. I better go and just shut them down." You know, why would you address it? You're only making it more.
Validated.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Shouts out to everyone that thinks the world is flat.
But how really though? How damaging can it be to go around the world with that thought? You know, why is it a threat, Duval? Why do you think?
You might fall off the edge of that.
Okay. Yeah. No, but I mean, in terms of the power structure, does it affect theology as we know it, evolution? What questions does it make you have? If the Earth was flat, how does that make you think about your life and your existence?
Wow. If the Earth was... Yo, Macca, what are you saying? I don't know.
Bring Macca in, man.
I jump off the air now.
You're a friend. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
You jump off.
yeah.
I think we should get this show together, fundraise some money, and get a boat down there to the ice wall.
You want to go down to the northern wall?
It's the entire surrounding wall. Just think of the Truman Show, man. They made money out of this.
Yeah, I'm back.
No, because I check on this stuff all the time. I follow a lot of people, specialists in this area. And they say, you know, the whole thing, water finds a level, right? So it's flat. It doesn't go around curved surfaces, yeah? They say, so what's keeping the water in? If the Earth's flat, why isn't it all rushing off the edge? You Google, shall I do this now? If you Google highest landmass in the world, it's Antarctica, 9,000. Let me just check that because it's fake news. Highest landmass, Russia. Shit, see? Already. Is Russia on the edge of the world? Not that I know of.
Russia's
See, this is why you've got to check it out. You can't get carried away. You know, sometimes you find somebody and you start falling in love with them and you believe all the hype, and then you find out the highest landmass is not Antarctica. But actually, let's just say continent. Let's check it out. Asia. See, are they, you know, maybe they're... Oh, Antarctica's in there.
Yeah, it's on the plus.
Yeah, okay, fine. All right, let's move on. Thanks everybody. Duval Timothy. Everybody, thank you. Our next guest will be arriving shortly. Will you play us a little song? Can you freestyle us a little song? You might want to move around there and catch it. Live in studio, Duval Timothy. Oh, that's why I love him. Thank you so much, everybody. Duval Timothy, absolutely beautiful piece. What do you want to call that? Just, do you want to give that child a name?
Let's call it Bubble Toes.
Bubble Toes. All right, we're going to have a small intermission, and we'll be back with you after the break. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Do You Want to Have a Chat Show with me, Charlie Bones. Welcome back after that small 4-hour intermission in the magic of showbiz. And we've still got Duval Timothy with us on the couch, the wonderful man in blue, Macca, well, the anchor of the couch. And we've been having a wonderful time shooting this show, and I think it's time for a new guest. I think there may be someone outside. Macca, go and see who our next guest is. Aha! Welcome! Jack, this is my hypnotist, the man who has changed my life. Very special man to me. He's kindly agreed to come on. Thank you very much. Come and take a seat on the couch. Duval Timothy, this is Jack. I only know you as Jack Hypno. Do you want a full name?
Jack Raymond.
Jack Raymond, of course. Now, this is fascinating now, because, you know, I came to you after a period of my life that was not going well at all. I was trying many different things. I had seen a witch, I had been to Reiki, I had had bio-yoga, I had many other things. You know, a very good masseuse who's up in Elisa, but, you know, nothing was really sticking. Then a friend of mine said, you need to see this guy, he's going to help. I came to see you, and 2 sessions, the first, I paid 4 sessions, right? That's right. First 2 sessions, my brain was in war mode, was not happy with this, was fighting hypnosis hard. I came back the second session, you said, how's your life? Has it changed? And I said, not really. And you go, right. Let's get to it and change your life. And I was like, oh, I want to go with it. I was starting to see, because when I was under, I could see that aspect of my brain warring and the other aspect that wanted change. And this time, I think maybe I went with it a bit more. Then that week, everything changed. And as a DJ, I would explain it that I was in a period of my life where it was just a constant clashing mix of hell, very bad gig, ongoing in all of my life, all angles, friends, family, relationships, my job, everything was out of sync. And that week suddenly everything went like smooth sailing, absolutely wonderful. So I came back, the third session, I said, Jack, you've changed my life. And you shrugged, and I said, are you used to this then? And you said, no, I just thought it would happen last week. It's true. And honestly, miraculous what happened to me. I wouldn't be doing this, probably. I wouldn't have got this rolling. So, how did you get into it? Where did you start?
11, 12 years old. A friend of mine had a book from 1910 which gave these methods of entertaining people. It's called Home Fun. And there was a method where you looked into people's eyes and you flapped your arms up and down and they fell over backwards. You had somebody behind to catch them. So we thought, yeah, right. So we tried it with our friends and some of them went over backwards. Don't try this at home. So it worked. And then you can do that so many times before you get bored, even at the age of 11 or 12. And then we started using a pendulum and that worked. And then I bought a paperback and I learnt the induction word for word, and it said things like, you're going backwards into the darkness, backwards into the darkness. Stuff I would never say now. But it still worked. So we got caught by one of the teachers and made promise never to do it again. So I left it for a long time until my father died when I was about just over 30, around 30, a little bit younger actually, 28. Then I went to see a hypnotist, learnt self-hypnosis, and it really helped with the stress. And then I thought I'd better go and do this properly. So I went and did several courses, and that was it.
Did you have because it's kind of a not well understood aspect of the human mind, really. Mm-hmm. And when it first started working, what was your reaction when kids fell over backwards?
It was cool, because most things don't work. Most things are rubbish.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like you try stuff and they don't work very well, and this did. So it was just a moment of glory, really.
But have you ever used your power for evil?
Not consciously.
No. But it is an amazing...
I wouldn't. I mean, the same way,
or have you felt the temptation? You know, because some people will go the dark path.
No, because even the stage hypnosis thing has never appealed to me.
Yeah. What is the difference with that, staged hypnosis versus what you're doing?
Stage hypnosis, they are selecting people.
Yeah.
They will say to them, close your eyes, you can't open them, and then clasp your hands together, you can't unclasp them. The people who can't do it, they stay on stage. The other people go down. So they're working with self-selected top 2%.
Suggestible people.
Yeah, or people are there, they're up for it, they know they're not going to come to any harm, etc. Yeah. I have people coming in off the street, they don't know me from Adam, and I have a short time to persuade them that it was worthwhile coming and that I can make a difference. You know?
And I mean, I would say my experience, I'm there, I'm listening to you, sometimes we're talking about totally other things, and I'm thinking, am I not meant to be in the trance now? I'm like, you're not. But then when I come out of it, I feel extremely heavy and tired, and I sleep a long, long time. So something is going on, but I'm also fully conscious. So what's the difference? What's happening with these people that become chickens or get stuck? Are they fully conscious too, or is that a different form of hypnosis?
Well,
like were you not aware of what's going on, or are they fully aware?
Well, if you think of, for example, being drunk, are you fully aware? It's a similar kind of question.
Yeah.
You know what's going on. I mean, you may know you're walking on the street, but you're hitting an outpost or whatever it is, and you think this is going to hurt tomorrow. But not that I'm talking from personal experience, of course. Right. But are you fully conscious in the same way that you would be if you hadn't had any alcohol at all? No.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's a good example, but it's something like that. You are conscious on one level, not that conscious on the other. It's a bit like snoozing, or just like when your alarm goes off in the morning, you can't be bothered to get up, but you could if you wanted to. Yeah.
But these people are as awake and conscious of what's going on as I was when I'm like stage hypnosis.
Sometimes they go in and out of it. You can see some people, they're on the chairs and they open their eyes, or they may ask them to go and sit down after that, or they may put them back into trance. So I think it will vary even with that.
But there is a large part of it, which is what I realised, which is what Jodorowsky talked about as well, which is that it's not going to work if the person doesn't want to be healed. And I realised I had to fight and also go along with it at the same time as having it being done to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's a conscious decision to allow it to work for you. You can keep fighting it off.
Yes.
So there is a level of subconscious, like auto sort of suggestion that you know what's going on almost, but you want to go along with it, you know, and that's part of the healing process, I guess, because you want it to work.
Well, yes, I mean, obviously most people do, because that's why they're there. They wouldn't bother to come otherwise.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they may have very good reasons for not wanting to go along with it.
Yeah.
And really what I'm doing is not knocking people out, it's actually helping them change the way they feel.
Yes.
And that's the important thing. And it's taken me a long time to actually realise what I've been trying to do and do it better.
And how long have you been doing it now?
1991, so it's what,
30 years.
27 years. Yeah.
27 years, yeah.
But I mean, hypnosis a lot longer, but hypnotherapy.
What are some of the most miraculous changes that you've seen? Like things that have shocked you that you're like, wow, this is working, you know? I mean, I guess earlier in your career, or were you always confident that it was going to help? Because you were always very confident with me.
I was confident because the way that we were taught, when I went to Birmingham to do this particular course, the guy demonstrated on members of the public. So I knew that it was possible, and I knew that of the different methods that I'd learnt, that was the most powerful.
How many methods are there?
Lots.
Yeah.
And some are variations. I mean, there's direct, indirect, analytical. There's a broad thing. So what I'm doing is, to a certain extent, analytical.
Yeah.
But what it is not needing to go back into something or regress people, but to actually just be aware of the emotions and to let them go. And for some people that doesn't work, so I have to use different methods for them.
And what has it taught you about the nature of the brain that you didn't already know? In terms of even yourself, positive sort of mental attitude, or re-engineering your thoughts on a day that's going badly. Are you able yourself to sort of switch it on and help, kind of? Because for me it was like deep meditation,
Yes.
when I'm trying to relax, going to sleep.
Yeah.
But you helped me into it, and I'm not good at doing that on my own sometimes. Just calming down, breathing.
Sure. Well, there are different methods of doing different things. So if you're putting yourself into a state where you've got to do something you don't particularly feel like, that requires a change in mindset and a determination.
Yeah.
So that's a bit different. It's not pure hypnosis, but then I use other techniques as well. I use tapping techniques and various other things. It's whatever gets the client there.
Yeah.
I've got to be as efficient as possible, usually.
Yeah.
So what's it taught me about the brain? It's taught me that it's all about survival. That it's a question of, we have patterns that are based on usually the negative stuff that's happened to us, and we need to let them go, let the emotions go, and then the events become unimportant. And that's really what my work's about.
Because I wondered, previous to going to you, that this amount of rage or intense emotion, where would it go? If you managed that to go, would it actually just become real and I'd kill somebody or smash a house down? But that's not actually...
You haven't.
Because I feel like, the Earth, there's a certain amount of atoms and matter, and you can get rid of it, but it becomes something else. So I was thinking, where's that energy go?
Yeah. What happens in reality is you've got networks in the brain around stuff.
Yeah.
And the networks kind of crumble away, I think.
Yeah.
So
and they're like over-firing, basically, around certain issues.
Well, yes, because the more you think about something or the more you do something, the better you get at it.
Yeah.
So, for example, London taxi drivers who have done the knowledge, they have massive hippocampi, which are to do with spatial memory and that kind of thing, and laying down memories. But apparently if they stop doing it, those circuits dwindle away. And similarly with a guitarist, the backs of their hands will be as sensitive than most people's, and the fronts of their hands, the palms of their hands, will be much more sensitive because the brain wiring adjusts itself.
This goes back to what you're saying, that it's all about survival. The brain will put effort somewhere and less effort other places for what it's needed.
Yes.
Do you have any questions on the couch?
They're all asleep.
Interesting.
Alright, how do you recommend, like, so if I'm bitter about something,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've been done wrong by someone.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can say you forgive them or whatever, but you're still bitter. You've got that thing. How do you get rid of that?
Want a demonstration?
Yeah, good to, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How bitter are you out of 10?
7.
Okay. Was it one particular event, or was it a situation over a period of time?
It was one event, but it was because of a relationship that was like about a year.
Right. Okay. Do you really want to get rid of it right now? The bitterness.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
Right. So. Okay.
Can we do this without me sparing the details? I don't want to do
No,
exactly.
no,
Yeah, cool. I just got myself into some shit.
If that's the case, can you get rid of my bitterness after this?
Okay. So, bitterness is about 7, yes?
Yeah.
And you're feeling it somewhere in your body?
Yeah.
Where, without being too graphic?
Kind of top of my head.
Okay. And what does it feel like?
It feels abrasive and hot.
Okay. Can I tap you on the face, the hand, the collarbone?
Yeah.
Hand, please. Repeat after me. Even though I feel really bitter
I feel really bitter
about this relationship,
which
which ruined my life
it didn't ruin my life, but it
and made me a
ruined my life.
bitter and
Yeah.
twisted person.
Maybe a bitter and twisted person.
Maybe the complete wreck I am now.
Maybe the complete wreck I am now.
I deeply and completely
I deeply and completely
love and accept myself,
love and accept myself,
even though I don't.
even though I don't.
But I do a bit.
But I do a bit.
It's confusing.
It's confusing.
Okay. Feeling bitter,
Feeling bitter,
but not that much.
not that much.
I can let it go.
I can let it go.
Because this happened.
Because this happens.
It's not happening.
It's not happening.
Not right now.
Not right now.
I can let it go.
I can let it go
Bit by bit.
bit by bit
Because I have control.
because I have
I
control.
have choice.
I have choice.
I can do what I like.
I can do what I like.
I can wear whichever tracksuit I feel like.
I can wear whichever tracksuit I feel like.
Okay, eyes open, eyes down left, eyes down right, circle your eyes, and the other way. Hum happy birthday.
Huh? Happy birthday.
Hum it.
Oh.
Count from 1 to 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hum again. Okay. Letting it go.
Letting it go
Bit by bit.
bit by bit.
Don't need it.
Don't need it.
Don't want it.
Don't want it.
Doesn't help my beard grow.
Doesn't help my beard grow.
Doesn't make me smarter,
Doesn't make me smarter,
richer,
richer,
more successful.
more successful.
Don't need this business.
Don't need this bitterness.
Ready to be over it.
Ready to be over it.
I am over it.
I'm over it.
What number?
7.
It's got stronger?
No, it's got less.
Okay, so if 10 is maximum, 0 is nothing.
Well, I guess 6 then.
Okay, and before it was 7?
It was 7.
Okay. Just follow my finger.
Yeah.
With my fingers, okay. Think of the bitterness. Okay, any change? Or is that still the same?
Relatively the same.
Okay. Close your eyes for a moment. In fact, yeah. Okay. So as you hear my voice, just ask yourself what it would take for that feeling at the top of your head to move down to your feet as you start to become ridiculously amused for no particular reason. And the thing is that as you listen to me and your breathing deepens and everything becomes easier, you start to think of the present and what that might bring and where it might take you. Because as you begin to enjoy this state, the whole idea of being bitter seems so distant, so pointless, and you can let it go completely. Open your eyes. How strong is it now?
5.
Okay. Shall I go on?
Woo! What do you feel?
Good stuff. Yeah, I feel good. That's good.
I mean, we just keep bringing it down. So it's not an instant thing. We'll find different ways. We'll find what works for you.
Yeah, thank you. That was good.
So you did this with me, and I wondered. I mean, I don't like to even talk about it because I feel like it releases a rabbit out of the hat, kind of thing. Is that a thing?
If you've got a rabbit.
Yeah.
But it is interesting with the tapping, and it's this sort of idea of, like, I was trying to understand it while it was happening. And is it about overloading the brain while slipping in kind of positive affirmations while tricking it out of its sort of usual route of perception of issues that you may or may not have, you know?
The last thing's yes, because it's not my stuff.
Yeah,
I've got my own stuff.
yeah,
So people could work on me and do the same thing.
yeah,
But I come to somebody else, and in your case, I know you've got that bitterness, and I know you'd be happier without it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do whatever I can
Yeah.
to get rid of that, because
Yeah.
I know you're going to have a better life.
Yeah.
And if you do that in a lot of different areas, you can make a big difference. So it's not a question of mixing the positive affirmations and the negative.
Yeah.
99% of what I do is taking away the negative stuff, because then it's easy. Then you just become spontaneous, you're in the present, you're here, and you're interacting with your environment as you're supposed to.
And the brain, being a thing that wants to be on averagely happy, sees that that's an easier state and sort of prefers to stay there. Because what's to stop the brain just slipping back into...
Okay. The brain actually probably doesn't want to be happy. That's the main problem.
Right, yeah.
Because, as I said, it's about survival. If you're
Yeah.
walking around with a big grin on your face and somebody swats you on the back of the head, you're not going to be that happy.
Yeah.
So there's much more being careful and avoiding danger
Yeah.
on whatever level. So the reason that it doesn't come back is that the brain has accepted that that event or situation isn't important anymore.
Yeah.
Can I do something else?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you happy to?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a different one. So, right, we're going to play a little game, okay?
Yeah.
So it's about 5 now, the bitterness?
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing, we're still going to work on the bitterness now. So, repeat after me. Actually, don't repeat anything after me. So I'm going to say to you, stop putting on your socks, okay? And you say to me, I'm not putting on my socks. You can do it in a very kind of sarcastic...
All right.
Ready? Here we go. So, stop putting on your socks.
I'm not putting on my socks.
Mm-hmm. Stop scratching your nose.
I'm not scratching my nose.
Okay. Stop this relationship ending. This relationship. This relationship.
I'm not. I am stopping this relationship. This
relationship.
This relationship
isn't ending.
This relationship isn't ending.
Okay. So where is it ending? Is it ending in Pitlochry?
It's not ending in Pitlochry.
Excellent. You got this. Is it? Yeah, great. Okay. Is it happening in Swansea?
It's not happening in Swansea.
Okay. Is it happening in Canberra?
It's not happening in Canberra.
Okay. Did it happen yesterday?
It did not happen yesterday.
Will it happen tomorrow?
It won't happen tomorrow.
Next Tuesday?
It won't happen next Tuesday.
Okay. So repeat after me. It happened,
It happened,
but it's not happening.
but it's not happening.
It's over.
It's over.
It's finished.
It's finished.
It doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Okay. How bitter are you now?
At 3.
So, but then there's the other thing of English, I wouldn't, maybe not, just humanness,
Yeah.
to not want to tell you, which I felt quite a few times in the first or second session where you're saying, how you feeling? And I think, oh God, I've got to say, I'm feeling okay, out of politeness, or, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you may, in your experience, have had an extremely over-polite client that you know is saying not the truth, you know, because they don't want to, they're so stuck. I'm just wondering, that's quite a big thing of it, because I think if I watch stage hypnosis, the person's gone up there, the person's done, the hypnosis guy has done the thing, saying, now you are this, and they may be going, oh God, I'm not, but I'm not going to be on stage in front of 1,000 people going, I'm not a chicken, I'm, you know, because people want to go along and make everything kind of okay.
They want to be a chicken, yeah.
Yeah, they want the show to continue. And like in one way, that's the good side of it, that the brain wants to sort of go along with what's good.
Yeah.
Telling that you are giving a good message to that brain. But
Right.
sometimes it might not be hitting the spot. And do you have a sense where you're like, you know, because you know, a lot of the problems in life is if you're going through it with such a stubborn wall that you're not allowing yourself growth or change. And obviously these are people that need the help most. And yet they won't allow change.
Yes.
I'm just wondering how that works, because...
Okay, sometimes, for example, in the case of anorexia,
Yeah.
I'm very, very careful and very gentle and very slow because it's about control.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's important to go at a speed that a client is comfortable with.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you don't actually get to work on the issue they came with,
Yeah.
at least not immediately,
Yeah.
until you've developed enough trust
Yes.
that they feel sure that it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's not that their guard is down, it's that they are more relaxed and they're more open.
Yeah.
So really, it's important to develop trust.
Yeah.
And that's part of the job.
Yeah.
But when you were saying that, what amused me was the thought that people sometimes burst into tears and then they apologise.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, that's why you're here. You're
Yeah.
here to work on this issue, and that's why it's
Yeah. And that emotion is released.
yes, and the point is that but once the tears are there, we can get rid of everything.
Yeah.
But that's by no means everybody. I mean,
Have you always been described as odd or a little strange by friends or family? Because not saying that anybody is like against what's happening, but a lot of people who have not experienced this before, you know, there's a lot of, you know, if you're on a path doing your thing, it's not what's the word, usual,
conventional. Yeah.
conventional.
My family are used to me.
Yeah.
Friends tolerate me.
Yeah.
But I was at a party about a year ago, and somebody said to me, said, "I don't believe in what you do," and I said, "You haven't." I said, "First of all, I don't care."
Yeah.
And I said, "Secondly, you don't actually have the faintest idea of what I actually do."
Yeah.
Because people's conception of what you do is very different from the reality.
Yeah.
And my methods are often changing very slightly
Yeah.
as I develop new things and maybe drop some of the old ones if
Yeah.
I find something more effective. So the joy for me is when somebody wakes up in tears and they go to bed that night with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. So
Yeah.
I don't actually care very much what people who A, wouldn't come to me in a million years, and B, don't have the faintest idea what I can do or what's possible,
Yeah.
think.
But this is kind of like the ethos of what this is about, what my radio show is about, is unconventional paths to happiness. You know, the conventional path often leads to a massively narrowed, unhappy existence mostly, and you can turn a corner and experience a whole new world that you've been told or had drummed into you is not worth going. You know, like, I don't know, the first time I heard of Kate Bush, I was surrounded with people saying she's a weirdo, you know? If I had kept listening to that, I wouldn't have experienced Hounds of Love or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, the point is, where did you get that strength to start turning away? I don't know if you ever had a conventional job, or were you always on this path of being interested in other experiences and
I was a
ways?
musician and actor.
Yeah.
So I hated being a musician because of the context I did it in,
Yeah.
which was a regular job. I mean,
Yeah.
I would play piano in hotels and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and on restaurants, cruise ships, and then.
But you may have had glimpses of what you enjoy, because often when you're in a situation like that, someone will come and pour all their secrets on you. You know, or just start talking.
Not usually, because most of it was sitting in the middle of a lounge.
Okay, you went, yeah.
Playing to nobody.
You didn't get chatting to someone at the bar, or you didn't have a
Not
sort
very
of
often.
part of yourself where someone just felt they had to unload on you.
Occasionally, but not enough to. It didn't have much relevance to what I'm doing now.
No.
And it was more that I think I came to a corner where I just wanted to do this properly and do it seriously.
Yeah.
And
Because you saw that it helped you saw that it helped other people,
yeah,
or you
but
wanted to help more people.
it was gradual. I was running the two side by side,
Yeah.
and then the music fell away, and the hypnotherapy took over, and then by doing it more and more intensively, I sort of chopped the rough edges off a bit, so I became much slicker at what I did
Yeah.
and more efficient and quicker.
Do you get sad that you have maybe long-term friends that still don't really get what you're doing?
No.
No. You just
No.
accept it. Just acceptance is key.
Well, actually, most of them do.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, for example, the medical.
Yeah.
Do you have any doctors in the extended family, or, you know,
Yeah,
like,
I
what's
know
that
people.
relationship between? Because in a way, that is you know, I've had that described to me as a hypnotist. You go into a doctor's office, he's wearing a white coat,
Yeah.
he gives you little white boxes. You know, everything is actually little indicators telling you this man is someone to trust and someone. And I've never really had any help from whatever pills they have given me.
right.
But a lot of people believe that. They go through, they offer themselves fully in trust to a doctor.
Yes.
And I'm wondering what doctors perceive of what you do.
It depends. I met one doctor who recommended hypnotherapists for smoking because they said it was about 50% effective, but it was far more effective than anything else.
Yeah.
And I think the statistics are very misleading because it depends really who you got in front of you and a lot of other stuff. So it's difficult to quantify. But obviously most of the doctors I would meet are going to be fairly sympathetic anyway.
Yeah.
However, I don't have an issue talking to medically trained people because I've done a lot of anatomy and physiology, and it's taken me all these years to understand how the brain actually works.
Yeah.
So I can explain it in terms with which they would be comfortable, and be as precise about it as possible. Because really, all I'm doing is helping people reduce emotion, little by little.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell. Which
Unhealthy
is
emotional emotion.
unhelpful.
Yeah, unhelpful.
Yeah, I mean, it's only in retrospect that it becomes unhealthy, because you look back and think, actually, it's not good that I feel angry about this still.
Yeah.
At the time, it was your reaction.
And what about cosmically or spiritually? You know, because I mean, it is very lucky that I met you. I could have met another hypnotist that didn't do anything for me. You know, there is this sort of, and it was at the time of my life when I needed it. I don't think I would have probably been open to it if I was any younger.
Yeah.
It would happen when it happened. You know, there's this sort of. Do you feel an awareness of that, or is it quite scientific to you?
No, I do feel that. In some cases, I think, I said to somebody the other day, and I didn't mean with any arrogance, if it sounds arrogant, please stop me. I said, you're very lucky that you came to me when you did, because, and I said that after he'd made a big change.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't mean it with any personal thing. It's just, if I'd met somebody when I was 20, my life might have gone very differently.
Yeah.
You know. So I think the earlier the better.
Do you want to just list off the things that you have had an effective change on, conditions?
Yeah, sure. Well, anxiety, depression. Though of course I don't claim to have a medical effect, so I would say I'm.
But where you've had someone like me come back to you and say, "Wow, this has really had a big effect."
Yeah. Eating disorders, anger. I wouldn't call it anger management, because I would say it's getting rid of anger, which is something much more helpful and healthy. On and on. Where do we go? Sleep.
Alcoholism?
The big three at the moment are eating, drinking, and sleep.
That's interesting. What are the eating, drinking, and sleep? And this is social.
Too much eating, too much drinking, not enough sleep.
And those numbers are going up with those people coming to see you for these issues.
Smoking has virtually disappeared. Drugs I get sometimes, and often with other things, addictions.
Yeah.
And you have to work with them all slightly differently.
Yeah.
So to a certain extent, I've had to carve this path myself, because it's not in any book anywhere.
No. And that's good though, because I guess that keeps you fluid, because if you're stuck in one skill set and one form of approach, which I think does happen to a sort of a GP who's too busy and just sees people, and
I've a lot of sympathy for
and you have. I know it's tough. I don't want to be like a railing against, but you know, you need to approach each human totally differently. You know, and that trust is key, and that sort of sensitivity.
That's the excitement of it.
Yeah.
I would get dead bored, because
Do you like the challenge? What if you've got a stubborn client? You know, it's just not having any effect. Do you like the sort of challenge of how to get in there?
I'm not happy when they leave, because I've got to, but I obviously have to come up with something better.
Yeah.
These days with most people I can make a difference, because I've got enough experience and enough tips and tricks to work around things, but not always.
Not always, no. Well, we could break this up now and go to the questions of trouble.
There you go.
Which of these subjects would you like to address? Zionism, the flat earth, sexting, Brexit, feminism, first wife, or banking? There's some safe ones in there, there's some risky ones.
I'm going to be... Let's see. So topics of trouble itself is not a topic, is it?
No, these are just really hot potatoes.
Right,
Before we have like that.
sexting. Let's go with you.
Okay, sexting. I guess that we can say with you, do you come across clients who have an issue with sexting? I mean, we're in a very sexualized part of humanity. Would you agree with that, or would you say
Yes, I think that's
roughly
true.
as sexualized as we ever have been?
Yet people are having less sex than they probably ever did.
Yeah, interesting.
Fertility's down, libido's down, and young people especially are having much less sex. Especially in Japan, but even here.
Yeah, it's the heavily technological advanced cultures that are actually having less sex. Seems to be the curve.
I think it's not just that. I think the sexes are polarised more than they ever have been, and there's more variation, and things are in flux at the moment.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be answering this seriously?
No. You answer it however much
Okay.
you want to.
Right.
You might not even want to. But no, but this is a big, because, sex drive, you must have helped someone with this issue. The separation, the sort of what you can find on your laptop versus dealing with a human, and that gap widening, and you may have people that come to you with issues regarding online addictions.
It's an addiction like any other, in a way, except for each addiction has its own special effects, but it's the dopamine circuits in the brain to do with rewards, and people become more fixated on behaviour than they do. So again, it's enabling people to become more spontaneous and more in the moment and more alive,
and reharmonising the sort of brain genital area. Do they separate?
Yeah, I've got a machine to do that. I would
because sex drive is a strange thing when it's been tampered with by the.
It's not necessarily sex drive. Some people it is, and some people I always ask first: is there anything medical? And usually they have all that checked out.
Yeah.
It's mainly men that have been to me. I think I've dealt over the years one woman for sex drive itself, but for women it's different.
Yeah.
That it's more emotionally related, and if they're not getting on with a guy, then or another woman, then it's not going to work that well. For men, often it's more about anxiety and performance, and the two combined as a result of experience. So what we have to do is make the previous events unimportant, and then things work fine. Quite often.
Is there any questions that I may not have asked you that you would like to address?
Not off the top of my head. But
Macca, have you got anything?
I'm still blown away by what. I feel like I was affected.
Haven't
by
finished
what
with him
it
yet.
did. I'd like to witness the rest of it, because I'm kind of.
But that wasn't all you. You did that with me, but you also I was laid down, and you have.
I'll start with this because this is the kind of thing I would do at the end of the first session.
Yeah.
Because I want people to realise that there is some power to it, and it's going to make a difference in their lives.
Yeah.
But from then on, and this is the way I work now, I used to do longer sessions, but I found that it was exhausting, and it was too much to expect people to come for 2 hours and to bat them over the head with it. So these days, the first session is fun.
Yeah.
And it's relaxing. So at the end of the session, I'll do something like this, and we will get, we might well get it down to 0, but nevertheless, when people come back, I work very differently. And then we'll go into the reasons for it, the emotions, the thought processes, the attitudes, all that kind of stuff. So it's completely eradicated. And people need to, let's say you wanted to forgive somebody. There's people big on forgiveness. Yeah, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about forgiveness. Okay, forgiveness. It's not as important as people imagine and a lot of people say. You cannot forgive somebody, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you're still angry at them.
I guess.
Because it's not genuine.
Yeah.
It's like, I forgive you. But it's not. Once you feel neutral about it, because what I'm really doing is helping take people from raging or terrified or very worried to neutral, to 0. Yeah. And then we put in the good stuff if necessary. So the point is, when you're at 0, you can go, do I choose to forgive that person so that I can move on with my life? It's just telling your brain again that it's over, it doesn't matter anymore. It's making it unimportant. So that's the deal with forgiveness. You don't have to do it. Yeah. And it's more important to get rid of the emotion, because then you can choose how you feel. And you may not want to forgive somebody, or it may not be relevant.
Yeah. But you were mentioning briefly, what's the toll that it takes on you? And does that change with each patient? Your levels of what it takes out of you helping? Because how separate is it with... Because say, for example, when I had Reiki, the woman was sort of holding on my body at various points and breathing in and out and then burping a lot. She said this is usual, that they let off a lot of... But I don't know how much she had her hands on my body, so afterwards I said, okay, so could you feel, are you aware of some sort of energy field change or more harmony? And she don't know, I have no idea what's going on, something's happening, but she was very kind of, and I'm wondering what the connection is with you, because you were saying with the tapping, you're almost away from the body and you're just kind of around it, but you're not in with the pain or the whatever that person's going through.
No, I'm reading a book on a particular kind of psychotherapy at the moment, and I just think A, I get very bored doing that, and B, I don't want to work in that kind of empathetic way because people already have their patterns.
Yeah.
The reason they come to me is they want them changed as quickly as
So
possible.
it doesn't actually help to take
No,
on.
I mean obviously I'm there and I have regard for them,
Yeah.
and I try and do that with everybody, and usually I can. And sometimes I get people and I think, why have you come to me?
Yeah.
Because it's like, of all the people you go and see, I'm nothing like you.
Yeah.
And then I realise that they probably have a hard time with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And they've seen something in me, rightly or wrongly, which makes them feel this guy could help.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly surprised. Coming back to your question, I used to pick up a lot of stuff from people.
Yeah.
These days, much less. And I think it certainly helps doing shorter sessions
Yeah.
than I used to. The other thing is, for example, somebody came to me recently and I was trying to figure out what's going on, because as you say, people don't always tell you, especially on the first session.
Yeah.
And a lot of the job is actually analysing what they've really come for,
Yeah.
or getting the overview.
Yeah.
That's the first session is vitally important,
Yeah.
because otherwise you can end up treating the wrong thing
Yeah.
or working on it. So I took a pulse because I'm an acupuncturist as well.
Yeah.
That's not very loud. And I just felt very sad.
Yeah.
And I said, what's the grief? And she burst into tears.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because the heart is, you can actually pick up somebody else's heart. If you hold hands with somebody, you can pick up the other person's heartbeat.
Yeah.
And make it your
In
own.
your own brain.
synchronize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a clearly we do pick things up. There's also what are called mirror neurons, where it's a bit controversial, but the idea is that we learn by copying. So we've got
Yeah.
brain cells
Yeah.
which are designed to help us copy people, and therefore if you copy posture you get in rapport with them.
Yes.
And that kind of thing. That's the idea. But you may also pick up their emotions and
Well, they say it happens
So-
naturally. Say two people on a first date that are getting on will
Will
mirror,
naturally be
sit
instinct.
next
Yeah.
to each other, doing the same thing with their hands or their legs. Or,
and
Yeah.
breathing and all that kind of business. Yes.
I worry how concrete is it? Because I worry, will it fade away? What the work we've done together?
No, absolutely not.
No, because I do feel a sort of a more steady ship that I'm in.
Yeah.
Like not like a rotten floorboard that I might just slip through to the sharks. You know.
Because what we've done is take stuff away.
Yeah.
We haven't put anything in there.
Yeah.
That's up to you. And the further it's like leaving a particular location.
Yeah.
The further away you get from it, the more distant it becomes, literally. So
Yeah.
all that stuff 6 months ago will seem like 6 years.
Yeah. But how much of a crafty little fucker is the brain? Because what if something else sort of happens or another issue comes up out of the murky depths and I come back to you and my brain remembers, oh, this is what he's going to put me through and this is what's going to happen, and it will work to shut it down, you know, because the brain can be quite an unfriendly ally. Does that happen? Do you have clients return and go through it all again and it helps, or does their brain sort of know what's going to happen and say, I'm not having it again?
The first one.
You tried to trick the first session, you know what I mean?
No, because it isn't a trick.
Yeah.
First of all, because they're used to, since partly what I'm doing is actually teaching people or enabling them, guiding them
Yeah.
into making emotional changes,
Yeah.
so they get better at it. So
Yeah.
probably, this is a guess, but I haven't never actually asked anybody about this. Do you find yourself in situations now where you are adapting more in real time,
Yeah.
and you're going, actually that doesn't matter that much. I could get annoyed about it, or I could get worried about it. But I'm not going to because of
But I feel that way, so I mean,
right.
I'm just looking into the future.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel I'm reacting better healthier to the situation that would have sent me off a long time ago.
And therefore you're developing
Push.
new habits, and those are
Yeah.
becoming stronger.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that's. What's weird is sometimes people come back after 4 years. I don't know what 4 years has, but
Yeah.
with a different issue.
Okay, interesting. Well, we can have a short interview. We should just say thank you to the gentleman for coming. You can Google him, worked out of Neil's Yard. Covent Garden. That's been wonderful, thank you. Val, thank you, Val.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And Macca. Yeah, great sport, Duval. Thank you so much. Now we have the applause stuff done and some music playing. Yeah? Thanks, everybody. Great show. Inaugural pilot. Do you want chat show? Thank you. Do you want to have a chat show? Is that on?
you want to have a chat.
Yeah, that's good. I want to get down to 0 now.
It's good because you don't really. I don't really talk about. I think most people don't really talk about any sort of like therapy. People don't do that sort of thing in real life, and you just like talk to someone about that shit. Like even when I was doing interviews for that last record I did, just interviewing friends, but I never spoke to my friends and family like in that way. And then some of them were kind of like starting to break down after, like thinking about the shit that never really like thought about. I don't know.
Well, it comes out in just a strange thing of an interview.
Yeah, just like Ibby was asking her about like identity stuff with Nigeria and whatever, and it like touched the nerve and all of this stuff, and like my dad about Sierra Leone and things. But stuff I kind of knew, but you never, when it's so close to you, you never even ask the most basic questions.
Yeah.
So
you can spend a lot of time with someone.
Like whenever I've thought about this bit and this stuff before, it's always been me telling other people what it is. So I'm basically like going up to myself and just like enforcing it.
Yes.
But like when you're saying like, oh, it doesn't matter, it's like, it's great. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not your fault. Yeah, great.
It's amazing how simple it is, because it's quite simple affirmations. Like, why couldn't the brain, being as clever as it is, realise to do that for ourselves? But we will stay trapped. But I remember the first time I sort of saw someone for help, it felt like someone was taking like tons of pressure off me, because I had realised I'd spent a long time trying to equalise and work out lots of shit that wasn't really anything to do with me for a long period of my life. And then someone was like, let's talk it through and see what it actually is. And it was quite simple guiding through, and it suddenly felt like, wow, okay, this is not all for me. Because it literally used to take up 98% of my brain trying to work out and how to deal with whatever's happening, what to think about it, who am I, it's exhausting. But why doesn't the brain just go...
Because it doesn't want to.
Yeah.
When you say it's a tricky fucker, what it's trying to do is protect you.
Yeah.
So it's all about safety first. I mean, if you think of animals, then they're eating, they're kind of...
Yeah.
And so we are pattern matching. We are checking our environment for anything that matches previous trauma.
Yeah.
So that's why it's too important.
Yeah.
So if you said to your brain, why are you still hanging on to this from 3 years old? It's because the software hasn't been updated.
Yeah.
So it still thinks it's vital, and you're going to die if you let it go.
Yeah. Okay. It's fascinating that. And I guess throughout humanity, the ages, there's always been these sort of, you could almost be a shaman figure, or there's someone has always been in a community to allow, because you think, how did people live? If I went through a life of not having met someone like you, or someone who does something like you do, then what life would you be living if you know? Yeah. And maybe some people do go through the whole of their life never having it looked at or helped with.
Most people don't.
That's a very scary kind of thought for me. I couldn't do that. I don't know. Well, I'm just lucky to have met you at this time.
Well, mutual.
Thank
so
you.
you've made a lot of friends out. You were saying before, friends probably attracted, but you've made friends like Charlie, like friends after.
A few, yeah. A few selected special ones.
It's a big leap, right?
Yeah.
I asked him in the last session, I'm doing the chat show in my living room. I did really want you to come, but it came out in such a sort of like, I didn't even believe it. And you said, yeah, sure. And I appreciate that a lot, because these little leaps of faith are what, because I was talking to my mechanic, my car broke down yesterday, he had got done hard, in whatever, I don't want to get into details, but yet he is an amazing angel type guy, and he came out of nowhere and fixed my car for free and then went back home.
Yeah.
This is unheard of, because he said, he got done because this woman who said she was a doctor, so he sort of automatically trusted her. He did her car, then she didn't pay for it, and he's still waiting, and she won't answer the phone and all that. And it's so easy for someone to go through an experience like that and then just stop being nice to anybody. You know what I mean? But to maintain that sort of openness and trust is what's key to sort of having an amazing chance of doing this, say. It's quite interesting, because I realised, basically what I'm saying, I used to work at this nightclub, right, and I used to think about this a lot with people. Are people nice or not nice, or what's the deal? Are people just unfriendly? I didn't really want to believe that. And this one night I was put in the cloakroom, and I made a point of talking to every single person for as long as I could get them to talk through the night, see. And I found out that actually, 9 out of 10 people are lovely.
Yeah.
And really lovely. Some may be just shy, but they'll talk if they, if you. But 1 out of 10, absolute fucking arsehole,
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, so this is basically in my life, or most people's lives, we go about our business, getting the train, the bus, through the street. But, nice people don't also have this sort of assertive nature to get in someone else's business. And normally you are just going to meet that arsehole, Like an arsehole will get in your business. But then you remember them as well. So they mould, like what you were saying earlier. I guess the brain is like, okay, I was attacked one time, or someone shoved me out of the way while I was trying to get on the bus. And it sort of stains your mind to expect that actually most people are on that scale. But it's not true at all.
Well,
because we're not taking the risk to get to know a stranger.
The arseholes generally become arseholes. They're not made that way.
No.
But because their parents are assholes, or their parents have had similar terrible upbringings, they pass it on down the generations.
Yeah.
And we often end up with people who resemble one of our parents.
Yeah.
Not because we want that, but because we feel comfortable with it, because we recognise it.
Yeah.
So part of what I do in terms of relationships is enabling people to change that programming and say, do I really want to be with somebody who's like my mother?
Yeah. And it is sad because, that's quite an amazing thing that you do, because love to somebody that's not used to a sort of functional family home is a terrifying thing.
Right.
And have you been able to help somebody get out of toxic relationships to then actually enjoy a healthy love with somebody? Because that seems almost too much, because the amount of things that encompasses are so huge.
It's all about self-esteem.
Yeah.
Which is how much people value themselves. So if people, and most people do not esteem themselves very much, but they hide it well.
Yeah.
Or because we are looking from our inside at other people's outsides.
Yeah.
And so is everybody else.
Yeah.
And the things you talk about, as you said, with most other people, are not the kind of things that I talk to people about.
Yeah.
So I do feel very privileged, actually,
Yeah.
that the people share these things with me.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating because I suppose I see person after person, client after client, and I develop a much more complete understanding of how people are thinking than most people will see.
Yeah.
So when somebody says to me, "Oh, what you do is rubbish," or "I don't believe in it," it's like, well, it's so different from the reality of it.
Yeah. And I'll do my little testimonial now, because basically, in the past, I've had moments where life's gone well, but due to me and my, defense mechanisms, I would freak out and shut that goods down. It would make me nervous and anxious that things are going too well. Some disaster's coming. I'm going to get attacked. I'd have images of someone just punching me in the head while I'm walking down the street, or a car crash or something. But what you have done is allowed me to get happy and also stay happy without freaking out. Like normally my systems would go on red alert if things were going good for more than 3 days. I would start being, oh my God, this is too much, something massively bad is going to happen. And for me, that's probably the greatest thing that you've helped me get rolling. And then when bad things come along, it just comes and goes, and you sort of deal with it, and then it passes by. It's like like debris going by a boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas before, I wouldn't allow, and that's amazing that you cut that sort of hyper defense mechanism to sort of keep me anxious and stressed out.
But you need an extra session to get you there.
I do, yeah. We've got one more, haven't we?
No, I mean you needed one after.
Oh yeah.
Because normally,
Yeah, we
we got
did.
to that stage. But and I was expecting things would change earlier.
Yeah.
So when your question about when it doesn't work, how do I feel?
Yeah. Takes time though. Mr. Jack Raymond, thank you very much for joining us there. I really appreciate it, and thanks for your leap of faith into this mad experiment.
It's been a delight.
Thank you. It has been a delight. Thank you to Duval Timothy.
Thank you.
That was absolutely beautiful earlier as well. Great piece, freestyled on the synth there. Macca, the anchorman on the couch, Jimmy Lee, the band. One. Cameraman Joseph. Great work. And Max, what's your position again?
Key grip.
Key grip, yeah. Key grip, Max. Thanks so much. Join us next time, where I'm sure it will happen again, hopefully. Amazing. Thanks. Really. I appreciate that.
Up the level of conversation there.
Damn, man.